Majesty had reached a verdict. I have guilty or innocent. Innocent. Feed him to the Shaktikans.
And here we have the Quintesson Judgement set that came in the box and everything. But first, before we look at the figures and everything, let's look at the box itself. And I'm going to have to back out because it's a big box. As you can see, other figures I have on my table, but yeah. And yes, I don't have the display in here, but the box art is pretty nice. Let's get the top view here. We have the Quintesson Judgement with their insignia there, and there's a lot of detail on this box. I love box art. I really do. Most, but yeah, you can see all this detail we have here and everything in the back. It just recreate that scene in the movie with the Transformers, the movie logo on the bottom there. But if we get back up a little bit more and try to get this whole thing in the shot, so it's a big box. But yeah, love the artwork. You get the Quintesson, the Prosecutor, and little Shaktikans here, and the Bailiff, and this guy here, which I think he's the Executioner since he throws a switch. But yeah, love the detail on this box and everything. And on the other side is same as the other, and the bottom has more of the detail there and everything. But that's the box. So let's look at the diorama. And yes, you have the Quintesson pit, where the Quintesson sits up here, the Bailiff, the Prosecutor, the little guy, and a Shaktikan down there. But yeah, look at all that detail on this and everything. It looks really nice. Absolutely like this. But I will be keeping this in the box, so this does not get damaged or anything. So yeah, let's get with the figures. And here's all the figures from the box set. And as you can see, we have the Quintesson, the Bailiff, a Shaktikan, the Prosecutor, and this guy. I can't remember his name. So yeah. But yeah, let's look at these guys, because these guys don't transform at all. But if we focus on this guy, he has a lot of detail on him. Few paint apps, but quite a bit of detail on him. No, focus. There we go. Yeah. Not bad. I really like it. And this guy doesn't transform because he never transformed in the movie and everything. But yeah, that's a very nice little figure there. And now to the Prosecutor. And he's got a lot of detail. Now the only possibility is his head. But my guy is so loose, it actually comes off. So yeah, you want to recreate something where this guy's head is disconnected, well, by all means, you can. But I don't know if your set does that, but mine set does. The arms don't move, it's just the head. But he has a lot of detail in the paint apps on there. And everything. The little effect does come apart on him. So you can add a little blast effect onto him if you like. Yeah, that's the front. More details in the back. Very nice paint apps on him. No bleeds or anything. No blemishes so far. But yeah, that is the Prosecutor. And now the three figures that actually transformed. So yeah, we have the Shaktikan, the Bailiff, and the Quintesson. And let's see here. Who should we do first? Let's look at the Shaktikan, because he's small. But yeah. If you already have a Shaktikan, this one is actually painted different and everything. Not for sure if it's more as the G1 figure itself. I can't remember. But I think that it's quite different. But yeah. It's as the same as the other Shaktikans we've gotten from earlier line. Transformations the same. Just different paint scheme. And he has a Decepticon there on his belly. But yeah, very nice paint apps on him and everything. The lower jaw moves down as the upper jaw moves as well, but not much, so you could get a big chomp out of something. But yeah, arms move up and down, no side motion. The legs are on ball joints, so you got full rotation out of them and little swivel there, and his knees on a ball joint, which you can tell that's his hand as well. So you get full range of motion. The tail does not move up or down, and the fin doesn't move at all. So that is the Shaktikan. And now the bailiff. So we got him in his robot form and everything. And this is actually kind of like the first we have, except the Alicons, but I don't have him yet, so he's technically my first. But yeah, let's look at all the details on him. He does have much bigger spikes and everything. Got this kind of like metallic pinkish purple on his face and chest. And he's got some of the kibble in the back. And he does have weapon storage where you can take his weapon and actually store it on his back. And his weapon does actually come apart. Take that part and just kind of wiggle it out of his hand. It's a tight fit on mine. But this top section is actually a soft plastic. So hopefully this doesn't have any issues later down in the road. But yeah, it's got a little tab here. And on its back, you got these two tabs right here, so you can attach it, line it up, and you can just take the bottom part of the weapon and reconnect it right there. And also his end of his tail here is also a little weapon as well. Little sword-ish, scimitar, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that just stores up in there. So yeah. He's technically, since this comes apart, he has 3 weapons. And articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint. He can look up and down a bit. He can go side to side, but with that big snout of his, he can't really turn as much unless you want to lift his head up. But yeah, arms are on. You can do full rotation. They could go about that far outward, due to some of the gimmick he has of these ports here, so he can't go all the way out. He does have a bicep swivel there, about 90-degree bend at the elbow, and his wrists can actually rotate as well. He does have a waist rotation. You can move the back of his tail bit and the flap, so he does have a full rotation waist. His hips can go forward that far, back that far, and he can do the splits. Move the arms that way pretty well, but with the tail, you can't quite get it. There. The thighs have a rotation there. His knees are about 90-degree bend there, and his feet does have ankle articulation, and also due to the transformation, they can go forward up a bit, but not back. So that is all the articulation on the bailiff. So move him to the side, and let's look at the Quintesson. So the Quintesson, let me adjust my camera a bit. And here's the Quintesson in his Judgement chair. And one thing, you can actually take it off. So you can have his chair to the side, and he can stand on the little blast effect he has, which is only really for him because on the back part here, there's a lever. If you pull down, it releases it. And technically, there's other ports here. You can put other blast effects, but this is really designed for him. So you can just pop that in and have him stand there. and all his tentacles can move up and down. There's no bendy wire in them, so you can't really pose them in any way. They're just formed that direction. But under him, he does have, let me actually get this blast effect so you can see it, this spot here, and as I have the other tentacle here, that actually can, you can actually plug these tentacles in here, but sometimes these are hard to do, and I don't want to break these, so, but the back one can actually fold in, just snapping in this one just fine and everything. So just pop that back in and everything. So yeah, he also comes with a weapon which is under his chair, and all the tentacles have these little basically blast effect ports here, so any of the tentacles can actually hold it, because on his gun or cutting tool or wherever you want to call it has these little ports here and everything, so any of his tentacles can actually hold it. But I usually have this tentacle that I have pegged in under him hold it, so it actually looks like he's actually kind of holding it and aiming at somebody. It's like, don't mess with me. So yeah, there's his weapon. And articulation for mostly on him is he has this gimmick back here where he has his lever. You kind of hold it, and if you do it just right, you can actually rotate the heads. And yes, they will skip if you go too fast, but if you define it just right, you can actually cycle through each one just fine. And on this mask, and this mask, the mouth actually moves. This one's not as much, but the other two with the long chin actually move a lot. The other two do not have any mouth articulation at all, so they don't move at all. And that's about really it on the articulation on this guy. Really, it's just this whole gimmick of swapping face and moving some of the mouths open up and everything, and putting the tentacles any way you want. But yeah, that is the articulation on these guys. So let's go ahead and get these guys transformed, which be kind of easy-ish on some and some not. So yeah, let's get these guys transform. There we go. We got them all in their other mode, since I kind of doing backwards on some of these. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with the Shaktikan first, since we start with him first. And as you can see, he has a very nice robot mode there. His tail turns into his mace weapon and everything. The head is on a swivel, so it only can do a full rotation. Cannot look really up unless you want to deform the chest a bit. Can look down, but he's just really looking inside his chest. So that's about all the articulation on the head. The arms are all ball joints because they were his legs, so they got the full rotation there. Little twist there, and way over a 90-degree bend there on the elbow, but it's due to how its arm is formed. So yeah, no waist articulation at all. The legs can kick about that far forward, but they can kick quite far back due to transformation, and the knee is way under 90. No feet articulation, just normal A stance there. But yeah, he has a bit of posability, not quite a lot, but oh well. But yeah, there's the Shaktikan. Now let's get to the bailiff and his alt mode, which is a giant gator, kind of like an Alicon, but different paint scheme. You can see we've got some of that metallic purple pinkish color in his little bitty arms. Now the head cannot rotate, can't really look up or down, but he has a massive bite. So yeah, the arms can only turn, and due to the shoulder pads and the other arms, you can't really get a full rotation in. There is still a bit of a waist swivel there, but not much. Hips are kind of limited due to how he's transformed. And he does have a knee bend, and how I was talking about earlier about the feet. So you got a little bit articulation, but just that much, and still same rotation at the thigh. Tail doesn't really move. He's got weapon storage there. And yes, the hands from his robot mode are visibles, but I just kind of aim them a little bit so it's not much noticeable. Everything. So yeah, that is the bailiff in his alt mode. And now to the big one. The Quintesson's prison cell station area. Not for sure what it's called, but in the instructions they say put his little blaster right here, but you can actually put this really anywhere. You can put it under there from those ports, or you can somewhere. But yeah, you don't really have to have it there. And you can flip this guy around upside down, so he's really having a bad day, and post peg like that there. So yeah, he has this little cage he's in. So let's go ahead and get this guy out. Oh, you're sneaking out. Get out. So yeah, it has a little hinge there, and I like to do is put the weapon here when I'm not using it. So it'll be in the cage there, and he does have little connections here with the other, like Ironworks and all the other guys. So yeah, you could do that. You could put these in any position you want. Doesn't really say. They're just kind of hard to do, but I make it somewhat organic-ish a bit. And yeah, so that is the prisoner cell. Oh, and also if you want, actually have a little guy in here, you can actually kind of wiggle him in there. So yeah, you could put him in there if you want. And I think some figures can fit in there, but not a lot, because this is also a pain to get him out. But yeah, that is the Quintesson base mode. Technically, Quintesson never had the base mode or anything, so they just had the gimmick here. So yeah, that has been the Quintesson Judgement set. So what do I think about the Quintesson Judgement Pit box set? It's not bad. I mean, you get those two other little figures that don't really transform, the little guy and Prosecutor. Yeah, you get another Shaktikan if you're still missing one from your set. And we actually have a decent Quintesson with a whole fun little gimmick here. And the bailiff is not bad. I mean, it's kind of like the Alicon, so I can't wait till I actually get an Alicon and have that, and maybe have another Alicon so it has a bailiff with the two little henchmen. Yeah. As always, may your collection maximize your spark but never terrorize your wallet. We'll see you next time. Oh, this is a little fun. Me.